มาถึงตอนช่วงปี 2000 ถึง 2007 นะ อันนี้เป็นช่วงที่ยังไงอ่ะส่งเสริมมานานละ policy ทั้งหลายก็ค่อนข้างจะเก่าละนะคะโลกก็เปลี่ยนไปเยอะละทีนี้it's time that the country move on to a more competitiveness. So that is the reason why the BOI have to revise the policy. And the old policy starting from ปีอะไรอ่ะ starting from ใครบอกได้ปีอะไร1954 onward ใช่ไหม and the most important one is in 1993. The one in 1977, that is the first and original, first and original. 1977 is the first and complete investment and promotion act, which is the fundamental, we can say, the fundamental of the investment promotion act. Since then, we have changed it or revised it from time to time according to the world situation or whatever happened into Thailand. All of this investment policy, the main objective is to help support the promoted company or to attract the investment. When I say to attract investment, it's not only the investment from overseas or foreign direct investment. Investment that the Board of Investment is promoted is also the domestic investment. You know that? It's not only the foreign direct investment. Some of the people here ask me whether the Board of Investment or the government is only promote the foreign direct investment. It's not. It's domestic investment as well. Okay? So both foreign investment and domestic investment get the same benefit. In the year 2000, since our policy have been implemented for so long, and also the country also passed through the financial crisis in 1997 that affect the economy. The tax collection that we have is below target. You know that by the time that we have the ASEAN financial crisis, that we need the assistance from the IMF people come in and have asked to implement so many of the measures in order to get tax from the company. They actually by that time the suggestion of the IMF is to close the Board of Investment. We don't have to promote anymore. We don't have to provide tax incentive to company anymore because that kind of the tax incentive provided to the company make the tax collection lower than the target. But then we move on. The tax collection, even though it's getting below target, we have to do something else to really remain as the office that do the promotion. That is the reason why we have to revise the policy in the year 2000. This policy in the year 2000 is that we try to promote the competitiveness of the industry in the countries. How? Because we need the technology that is Thai technology. It's not just importing technology. The Thai technology have to to be implemented or to be promoted as well for the company. Because one of the questions that the IMF asked at that time, prior to saying the close the BOI, is that how can the promoted company paying tax after the investment corporate tax exemption period have been run out? Say if we provide tax exemption, corporate tax exemption for 8 years. So in year 9, that factories or that company have to pay tax. the question that the IMF asked the BOI is that did we have any system to keep track whether that company have paid tax or not? That is very, very difficult question because the answer that we gave to the IMF is that yes, we try to keep track and we go to investigate the revenue, but the staff that do the investigation or control the department have only few people, so it's not enough to really keep track on the tax. So the thing is, we trying to give that burden to the company. The company that get promotion from the Board of Investment will have to report their performance each year before they get the tax holiday. So that is how we solve the problem, because we can't send our staff to check their financial statement or to check whether the machine is there, to check the raw material have been utilized according to whatever they say at the beginning or not. So the company in each year before they apply to get the exemption, they have to give us the report saying that their operation performance is this and this by showing us the statement that is approved by the auditor or something like that. The second one that will help the industry in the country is more competitive is the BOI require the company, the project that have 1 million baht investment to have the ISO 9000. So this is to make sure that the product or the process that they produce are up to the standard, and it will guarantee that the product and the process will be accepted and can easily export to the global market. We also still encourage the investment in the remote area, decentralization, because for the industry that we are located in the central area, sometimes it's not competitive enough because of the high cost of production. The labor is expensive, transportation is expensive, and some of the industry might probably be far away from the raw materials. That is especially the agriculture's production. So we encourage them to invest in the remote area. And we still promote the SME. This is nothing that we can forget about. The SME here means that the minimum investment is 1 million baht, not including cost of land and working capital. So it's quite small. Not only that we promote the big company, SME is in our list as well. Priority activity during this competitiveness here is also in agriculture activities. You can see that almost every of the policy that we implement during the time still are in agriculture activity, but it's not going to be the low-tech agriculture anymore. STI, what is STI? STI is more like skill, technology, and innovation. Skill, technology, innovation, meaning that we are trying to promote the skill of the worker, the technology, and innovation, which is including the R&D, research and development activities. Public utilities, infrastructure, also the environment protection are all eligible to get the BOI privilege during this competitive year. Target industry, of course, some of the industry that the government deemed it necessary to promote, will put it into the target industry. If the company are doing business or are investing in this certain industry, they will naturally get the maximum incentive in terms of taxes. During this year, to be more competitive in the world market, we announced the export requirement and local content requirement. We announced that we don't implement it anymore, because the export requirement and local content requirement is two issues that is actually violated the WTO agreement เพราะว่า export requirement เนี่ยที่เราชอบจะบอกที่นโยบายของเราชอบจะบอกว่าถ้าอยู่จะเป็น 100% ต่างชาติถือหุ้น 100% จะต้อง export 80% จะต้อง export 50% เนี่ยคือไปสร้างไอ้เงื่อนไขว่าจะต้อง export เท่านู้น export เท่านี้ถึงจะได้สิทธิ์อันนี้เป็นการ violate WTO regulation นะคะแล้วก็เรื่องของ local content เหมือนกันเพราะว่ารัฐบาลเนี่ยก็อยากที่จะสนับสนุนให้บริษัททั้งหลายให้ investment ทั้งหลายเนี่ยใช้วัตถุดิบในประเทศเราเขียนลงไปเลยว่าอยู่จะต้องซื้ออิฐหินปูนทรายตะปูน็อตตะปูทั้งหลายที่ผลิตในประเทศแต่ที่มันจะมีหลายบริษัทที่เขาผลิตของ high end เนี่ยเขาบอกไม่เอาผลิตตะปูอะไรก็ไม่รู้หรืออะไรของในประเทศอย่างเช่นพวกชิ้นส่วนรถยนต์ say for example the auto parts there's so many parts little tiny part that made in Thailand but it's not the quality is might probably good enough up to their standards like the Honda company Toyota company they're not going to use the small part that produced in Thailand and put it together make it into one product because they can't be sold in the market okay so we put it that you have to some of the product why the government do this even though we know that it's violate the WTO
Yes.
because the government would like to encourage the local company trying to promote things by themselves ถ้าสมมติไม่สนับสนุนหรือบังคับให้บริษัทที่มาผลิตประกอบต่างๆเนี่ยพยายามใช้ชิ้นส่วนของบริษัทที่ผลิตในประเทศไทยอย่างเงี้ยเขาก็ไม่ซื้อทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างเขา import เข้ามาหมดเลยชิ้นส่วนอะไรต่างๆ import เข้ามาหมดเลยแล้วไม่ใช้แรงงานถูกๆของเราเนี่ยประกอบเข้าด้วยกันอย่างเดียวแล้วก็ส่งออกเงี้ยมันก็ไม่ make sense ใช่ไหมคนของเราก็ไอ้บริษัทที่ได้รับส่งเสริมไปผลิตพาร์ทในพวกขายไม่ได้เพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ย government ก็เลยบอกว่าไม่ได้อยู่จะต้องใช้พาร์ทในประเทศไทยด้วยเราก็เลยบอกว่าต้องใช้เราก็ไม่สามารถที่จะบอกว่าอยู่ต้องใช้ชิ้นนี้นะชิ้นนี้นะเพราะรัฐบาลอย่างเราจะไปรู้ดีได้ไงว่าชิ้นนี้ดีชิ้นนี้ไม่ดีถ้าบริษัทรถมันผลิตแล้วใช้ชิ้นนี้ดีชิ้นนี้ดีที่รัฐบาลกำหนดแล้วผลิต final product มาส่งออกไม่ได้เนี่ยมันก็แย่ใช่ไหมคะเพราะเนี่ยเราก็พยายามจะบอกเอาไอ้ตรงเนี้ย burden อันเนี้ยไปให้บริษัทสมมติโตโยต้าแล้วบอกโตโยต้าฮอนด้านิสสันวิสูอยู่เข้ามาผลิตเป็น assembly อยู่ต้องใช้ชิ้นส่วนในประเทศ 40% เพราะฉะนั้นอยู่ไปหาเองชิ้นอะไรก็ได้พิสูจน์มาว่า 40% ของต้นทุนการผลิตที่อยู่ใส่เข้าไปในรถเนี่ย 20,000 ชิ้นที่อยู่ในรถเนี่ย40 ชิ้น 40% นะต้องเป็นชิ้นส่วนที่ผลิตในประเทศก็จะเป็น burden ของบริษัทเอามา prove กับเราว่าโอเครถคันนี้40ได้แก่อันนี้ได้แก่อันนี้ได้แก่อันนี้ใช่ไหมคะทีนี้พอนานๆไปเนี่ยอันนี้มัน violate WTO สมัยก่อนเนี่ยไม่มีใครฟ้องร้องอ่ะคือกฎเกณฑ์ของ WTO เนี่ยมันคือถ้าไม่มีใครฟ้องก็ไม่มีอะไรเกิดขึ้นเพราะทุกคนก็ violate อยู่ปัจจุบันนี้ก็มีคนทำกันอยู่เยอะแยะถ้าไม่มีใครฟ้องแต่ถ้ามีใครฟ้องแปลว่ามีเจ้าทุกข์เกิดขึ้นไปฟ้องกับ WTO ใช่ไหมคะว่าไอ้นี่มันทำอย่างนี้อย่างนี้อันนั้นเขาก็เลยตั้งกรรมการสอบสวนแล้วเราก็โดนแบบนี้นะคะแล้วเราก็เป็นประเทศที่ส่งออกของต่างๆไปทั่วโลกซึ่งถ้าเราโดนแบนโดยWTO มันออกกฎวีโต้ไม่ให้เราส่งไปที่ไหนเราก็จะแย่ใช่ไหมคะเพราะฉะนั้นเราก็บอกว่าโอเคนะถึงเวลาแล้วนะคะถึงเวลาแล้วที่เราควรจะต้องประกาศออกสักทีว่า export requirement and local content no more implemented in Thailand okay so that will help the export market and put our product more competitive in the global market now aside from that, we have the additional incentive for the skill, technology, and innovation. This is what I'm talking about, that the government trying to really promote the technology made in the Thai engineer. So anything, anyone, any company that can develop the technology, new innovation, can come and apply to get promotion with a special incentive. For the supply chain, the second item is about the supply chain. Because, for a long time that we have been promoted new company, new company. We want to really get the whole supply chain in one place. Promoted continuous long-term investment project that have high investment capitals and special important to electronics and electrical industry. This is more like supply chain. Say if the one big company, Japanese company producing one computers, usually they are sending the intermediate product or the input small part and component from Japan or might probably from Taiwan come to Thailand for the assembly. Okay, so we use the label, put it together. We don't have anything left, only the label, the revenue that we generate in the country. So we're trying to get the whole supply chain of the company in here. We say the parent company is already here in Thailand. So please, parent company, invite your daughters and sons, meaning the branches that producing part and component, come and be together. And that is more like it because the Japanese company, they have the policy of just-in-time delivery. Remember? Just-in-time delivery. So once the product, once the part producing from the branch finish, it can ship directly to the parent company to the assembly line. So no need to pay for the storage, anything like that. So it's quite successful in these two industries. And we're talking more about the R&D, research and development. In the foreign countries, in the Western especially, like in Silicon Valley, the university and company are working hand in hand. Like the Apple company and many big names electronics company, they're working hand in hand with the university. They use the labs of the university, unlike in Thailand. That the company, the corporation is more like ignore the university. They don't use anything. And we at the university, we do some research. We do the thesis, the useless one. We do the thesis that nobody is going to use it. After the thesis was passed from the committee, it was sheltered in the library. Nobody is using it. Nobody is making money out of it. Unlike in the Western world, that when the industry is working with the educational institution, the thesis and special research and development from the student can make money. Why? Because usually if the company need the research, they come to the university and tell the Ajahn maybe that okay, we need the research of this and that subject, or we need the new innovation of this and that items, and let the labs from the university produce one. So that's the way for the university itself can make money and can also utilize all the hard working from the student to be benefit to the economy. Okay, so we promote it. So if the company would like to work with the university, the company will have to buy the machinery equipment to the university, and then they will get the incentive in terms of import duty exemption for that machinery. So this is how we try to really help it happen. Okay, so in this period, eligible activities are very clearly in 7 categories, ranging from agriculture up to services activities, which is very, very clear. And in each of the categories, like in category 1, agriculture can be anything at all that related to agriculture's product. Electronics and electrical appliances in group 5 also is very easy to detect that what is it about the activity that related to that group. services activity as well. So this is the eligible activity in a group, and altogether that we have is about 250 activity altogether related to this group of activity. Okay. So after that, we have the economy slowdown during this 2008 to 2009. The government announced this period of time to what we call investment year, to really push very hard for the investor. So in this investment years during this 2008 to 2009, economies not only in Thailand or in Asia slow down, because there is not so many of the investors coming from overseas, because the economy in United States in 2008, United States have problem with the subprime. It's almost like Thailand have with the real estate things during that Asia economic crisis. So the U.S. have this longest recession. They call it the National Bureau of Economic Research in the U.S., which is the think tanks of the U.S. economy, said that it was the third longest recession in the U.S. after the World War II. And because of that, the U.S. can't really go out and do any investment at all. And economy within the country is so bad, they're not importing anything from the countries. People are very stringent in spending the money. So Thailand and U.S. is trading partner. So when the consumer in the U.S. don't have enough money to buy products, we can't export it to the U.S. And U.S. is the big market for everything from Thailand. It's canned food, tuna, fish in a can, pineapples, and every other things has been export. Textile and garment also export to the U.S. So once the economy is no good, it have a lot of effect in the Thai economy as well. In the U.S., the bank also have been closed, like in Thailand exactly, and the Dow Jones market lost 38% during that time in 2008. That is very, very bad. But China, in the contrary, China economy, even though it's cooled down a little bit, but the GDP in China is 9%. So that helped a lot. But China, during that time, also have their own policy to stimulate the economy. So a lot of government support for the Chinese company to do business, to go out and invest. So that help a lot for the other countries' economy. During these slow years, not only in domestic part, the foreign direct investment as well. So it's more like the time for the Board of Investment to clean the house. So we established what we call the one-stop investment center. This is to really facilitate. We do everything to have the investment in Thailand. Not only the foreign direct investment, for the domestic investment as well. This one-stop center, or we call it OSOS in short, have 42 representatives of the different government organizations sitting together in one office. The investor, both domestic and foreign investment, can just come to this office located in Jamjuri Square in Samyang and go up on the 16th floor, get all the information about how to do business in Thailand in one place. Say, for example, you don't know how to get your expert coming into Thailand. We have the visa, working permit, people sitting there. Some of the company need to know whether the product need to get approval from all your, what is all your Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. We have the Food and Drug representative sitting there. So they can just move from one desk to the other desk. 42 representatives from different ministries sitting there to give the whole lot of information. So it make their life easier. For the slow investment year, there are much to do. We're trying to think of what else can we do to help you, dear investor. What else we can do? So we come up with these services, and it's proved to be very successful. It's very auspicious office over there. You can go and visit. You have friends who need the visa and working permits. You go to the 16th floor of the Chancery Square, call it OSOS Center, and you will see for yourself. And during this year, we have issued, or we have announced what we call the one country, one zone. Remember that in the past, we have 3 zones. We have zone 1, we have zone 2, we have zone 3. That is for the decentralization policy. We want to push, we want to persuade the investor to go into the rural area by divided the countries into 3 zones. And we offer incentive differently. For those who are in Thailand, who are in central area, in Bangkok, Nonburi, get very little incentive or not at all. But if you go a little further away from Bangkok, in Chonburi, Chacheongseao, you get incentive a little bit more. But if you are going to the rest of the country, in which we call zone 3, you get maximum incentive. During this slow time, 2008, 2009, we offer the incentive, the zone 3 incentive of every project that come to apply to get promotion from the BOI. So if one project coming from Japan, and it was required before that this kind of activity have to be in zone 2, but this company want to be in zone 1. We say, okay, please come. You want to be in zone 1? Get zone 1. And you get the incentive of zone 3. How about it? So this is what we call the one country, one zone. And it's not going to last forever because the application will have to come in. The deadline of the application have to come in to the BOI by end of 2009. This is to encourage in the speedy way to attract more of the investor. Eligible activities now is dealing with the energy saving. Since there are no one coming to invest, those companies that are already existing, we encourage them to do something else with their own operation. If they are using a lot of energy with the old machinery, we encourage them to saving the energy by sometimes buying new technology or using the renewable energy, alternative energy, in order to save costs and invest in the environment-friendly materials and products using the agriculture's as a raw materials, environment-friendly materials, product activities can come and get promotion. Make a project also. We encourage the private sector before the infrastructure and big project. Make a project. What we call is invest by the government, like the railroads, like the rails, airplane, airports, water supply, logistics is invest mostly by the government. But we would like the private sector to really take part in this investment year and enjoy the incentive in terms of taxes. The incentive that I'm talking about is, like the Zone 3 incentive, in which I previously explain it in length. So, is the import duty exemption on machinery, 8-year corporate income tax exemption, and more. You have it in the sheet that we distributed, but you don't have to really memorize all of it. Once you need it sometime, just take a look at it. It's not in the course of thingy. Don't worry about it. So this is the year that we promote sustainable investment. What is the sustainable investment? Sustainable investment คืออะไรจ๊ะอยู่แล้ว Yeah, good. See, we have the top class girl here. Huh? Yeah, sustainable industry is the sustainable investment is the investment that ยั่งยืน sustain นะทำไมถึงจะยั่งยืนล่ะก็ต้องเป็นอะไรที่ไม่ทำลาย environment เป็นอะไรที่ลงทุนไปแล้วก็ทำให้ลูปของไอ้ environment มันดีอยู่ไม่ใช่ทำลายป่าจนหมดหัวโกรนไปแล้วก็เลยเจ๊งไปเป็นอุตสาหกรรมเนาะเป็นอะไรที่ยั่งยืนลงทุนแล้วก็ไม่มีใครว่าอะไรไม่มีเดินขบวนอะไรก็จะเป็นinvestment ที่อะไรใช้พลังงานอย่างประหยัดใช้ขยะเอามาทำเป็นพลังงานใช้พลังงานแสงอาทิตย์อะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะคะอันนี้คือเป็นประมาณว่าindustry หรือ sustainable investment ที่ทำให้sustain นะ Yeah, and the two important measures that we encourage the company is that we encourage them to upgrade the technology of their own company by giving them the tax incentive. They buy a new company and they get the import duty free. So encourage them to really import the new technology and it's not going to produce a lot of the pollution to the environment. For those projects that will save the energy, conserve the energy or using the alternative energy will also get the incentive from the Board of Investment. So during that time in 2010 or 2011 there's two big events that have us to put the sustainable investment. There is one incident about the PTT oil spill in 2013, right? ที่มีน้ำมันรั่วที่อะไรที่เกาะอะไรนะน้ำมันรั่วที่เกาะที่ตรงระยองเกาะอะไรนะเสม็ด yeah they have the big oil spill in ระยอง of the เกาะเสม็ดอันมาบตะพุธนะตรงนั้นเขามีโรงกลั่นน้ำมันไง PTT เขาก็ทำน้ำมันรั่วมันเกิดจากอะไรมันเกิดจากท่อน้ำมันที่อยู่ในดินท่อน้ำมันที่อยู่ในน้ำมันระเบิดแล้วก็น้ำมันมันก็เลยสปิลขึ้นมาในบริเวณนั้นนะคะอันนี้ก็เลยเป็นอะไรที่ government ก็หาทางที่จะทำยังไงจะให้ไอ้เนี่ยมันมีระบบอะไรที่ดีๆหรือให้มันเปลี่ยนเทคโนโลยีการลงทุนก็สูงมาก we are come up with this measure we require the company that already get promoted in oil refinery, natural gas, extraction plant, power plant, petrochemical plants, mineral and basic, all these type of industry producing a lot of pollution. So we offer them the incentive that please buy a new technology, improve your line of production in order not to pollute our environment.By offer the incentive and it's required that they have to and we have the กรมอะไรนะที่เขาต้องไปดูกรมอะไรนะจ๊ะกรมที่ต้องไปดูมลพิษกรมควบคุมมลพิษ the hazardous อะไรนะกรมควบคุมมลพิษที่คอยไปตรวจเขาก็ต้องไปตรวจว่า level of pollution จากบริษัทพวกเนี้ยมันต่ำกว่ามาตรฐานแล้วหรือยังอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะคะก็ BOI ก็มีหน้าที่ให้ incentive ควรซื้อเครื่องใหม่นะมาทำอะไรอย่างนี้เป็นต้นนะคะที่เราก็ช่วยทุกอย่างนะเพื่อจะให้เกิดสิ่งเหล่านี้นะคะโอเคทีนี้เมื่อกี้มันจบที่ 2014 เนาะไม่รู้สึกว่าไอ้ตัวไอ้เยียร์เนี่ยบางทีมันอาจจะไม่ลิงก์กันนะที่อยู่เป็นคนลิงก์ไหมนะคะมันก็ต้องเปลี่ยนเป็น1999เนาะก็คือมันต้องลิงก์กันนะคะทีนี้พออันนี้เนี่ยเป็น new investment policy just implement first January 2015 and it will last until 2021 okay this is the newly policy with this policy is the big change that scare all the investors. So that is the reason why, because before we have revised this policy, there is the pressure coming from the Ministry of Finance and many other ministry in Thailand, saying that the BOI is spoil the investor by providing tax from them, because the Ministry of Finance is the one who collects tax. But the BOI is nobody who collect tax, but we exempt tax. So it's not fair for them. They don't get the tax collection up to the target, so they get mad and they say, close the BOI totally. We don't want the BOI in these countries anymore. And they make a lot of noise about this. And so the Ministry of not Ministry, Pukitirat Naranong, he's the Deputy Prime Minister here, during his time. He's chair the board of the BOI. So he's the one who said that the BOI should revise the policy and get a big change because it's time. Lot of the industry, 250 activities that we've been promoted for many long time. We better come back and do the study of which industry that is no longer used to get the incentive. So we do a lot of homework. We don't do it ourselves because we don't have the capability to do such a big research. So we hire the big consulting company to really study the policy of the BOI, in which way should we change. And this come up with the new promotion policy that is more, they said there is more competitive economy, for more competitive economy. So now the project that we are going to promote will be more in innovation, high value added, green technology, and more in research and development. That is the major field that we are concentrated. So all of these are related to the four categories that I mentioned. So in the first one, we have promoted investment that help enhance the national competitiveness. A lot of the activities prescribed in there, activities that are environment friendly. In fact, the name of environment friendly have been talking for a long time in many periods of the policy. But the thing is, it's not really happened as yet. So that is the reason why we should do more of the encouragement by providing way and providing the incentive to really encourage and generate more of the investment in that field that the government needs. And the number 4 here is promote investment in the border provinces in the southern. This policy has been implemented for a long time, but nobody dare to be there in the southern part of Thailand. You already know that why they are not going, even though we provide them with the highest incentive in terms of taxes. Nobody's going. Okay? And promoted special economic zone. The government, this new government, they want the promote the special economic zone because the zoning area next to our neighboring countries is a place where we do a lot of trade. So it should set up that kind of economic zone in that area, building up the industrial estate or something like that. So the company don't have to really transport on the product from the central area to the borders and then export to other countries. I think it's probably they think it's probably better to put up the factories along the border in order to manufacture and trading to our neighboring. And number 6 is the promote Thai overseas investment. This is very important, and actually, even though the government doesn't have this policy in place, Thai people, Thai companies have been doing business in the neighboring countries and other countries long time ago, because in promoting them to invest overseas, the BOI have no incentive at all to provide them. They will get the incentive in terms of tax from the host countries, meaning that if they're going to invest in Cambodia or in Laos, they should have the incentive provided by Laos or Cambodian government. We in Thailand only help them with the information and connection. Okay, it's not much that we can do. So, the shifting of the activity from the normal industry to more modern. So example that you will see in these 2 slides consecutively. Okay, you see it by yourself. You see it by yourself. So this is a little bit complicated for this new policy. Before, we are talking about zoning, we are talking about the activity-based industry. Now, with this new policy, we are talking about activity-based incentive and merit-based incentive. So, we also divided the group of the activity into 4 groups. Like from A1 to A4 is 4 groups, and B1 to B2 is there. So in this A1 to B2 here, in this little triangle here, you see that like for example, A1 is the knowledge-based industry. What is knowledge-based industry? There's be any activity at all that are related to the high technology or the knowledge incentive activities like microelectronics design, embedded software, creative product design, something like that. So it's A1. So A1 is the one that will generate more technology by the local people. So the government gives more incentive to A1. And then A2, A3, A4 consecutively. B1 and B2 is the old activities that have been promoted for a long time. So the incentive will get less and less. I will just show you have all the information here already. This is the merit-based investment. For the merit-based, since we are promoting more on the technology, the R&D thing. So they will get additional cap. What is the cap there? You don't have to worry about much. The cap here is the capital. Okay? So, the incentive of the BOIs, we go by capital investment. Say, if we are providing the 5-year corporate tax incentive, the tax that have been exempted should not be more than the capital investment, okay? But for a company that do the R&D, they will get the additional cap, 200% of the total investment that they are invest, okay? So I think that for this thing, this is just for example, for you to know that it has been changed, the policy has been changed, it's a little bit more complicated. I don't think that you need to worry about. I just provide you with the information. If you see somebody, they're talking about the merit-based investment, so you know what they're talking about. Okay, I don't have to understand it now. It's a bit complicated for you, and it's very short time for me to explain it at length. And it seems like you guys are very tired already. Okay, so we have the activity base and we have the merit base. The activity base are totally different from the past. So the industry we selected only for a few. From 250, now is only 100 plus activity that are being promoted. And the incentive as well is lower than in the past, and it's very difficult to really get it. You get the incentive from the activity base, and we will check whether you provide any merit to the industry or not. If it's merit, you get more incentives. Like you have to collect it. You have to do it before you get it, okay? This is the merit on decentralization. So it's volunteering for the company to be outside. We call it the merit based on the decentralization. All right? Okay. So still we have the special economic zone. This is a zone that is in the border area that the government need to promote. The border lines of Myanmar in Taps and Laos in Mukdahan, Cambodia, Sakeo, Malaysia in Songkhla, in only 4 sub-districts in Sadao is a special zone in which the incentive will be provided, and is already tabled for you guys here to see what is it that you can get in order to be entitled to get all these incentives, where you should locate your factories and in what kind of merit that you can really achieve in order to be eligible for the incentive. All right, so don't have to worry about the new policy, because it will be here for a long time, from the 1st January of this year until 20 to 21. By that time, I think you already be a Thao-Kea, because it's 3 years more you will graduate from Kasetsat University. Maybe by that time you will start looking back into the presentation sheet here and see, oh my God, my dad say I have to do business for my own living. What should I do? So first thing, you have to go to the US, go to the OSOS, right? To get the information of what to do business. To Jamboree Square on the 15th floor. Exactly. Yeah, and at least you know. Okay, you can go there and get the information and ask, if I want to do this, can I entitle to the, if I want to buy the machine, can I get the tax free? If I want to bring in the Japanese to work on the machine, how can I do? Working permit, visa, his wife and children, blah blah. You can get all the information over there, at least. So you can forget all about this now. Then, I don't know, when are you going to get the exam? So maybe one day before that, you just take a look at it, okay? You know that for the, from what I explained to you, about 2.5 hours already. 2.5 hours, yes. It's all about the incentive. It's all about the incentive. And the incentive here is only about tax. So there are 3 tax that the investment promotion agency, BOIs, is providing. The first one is import duty tax on machinery. Second one is import duty tax on raw materials. The third one is the corporate income tax. So it will be exempted, it will be reduction. It depends on the industry that you are doing. It depends on the zoning that you are located. Okay, so it's all about the tax. The other thing is the non-tax incentive. Non-tax means permission. Non-tax in permission, like is the permission for the company to bring in the expert into the countries. If we allow you to bring in the expert or the foreigner to come and work your company, you can get the letter from the BOI saying that we allow to bring in 10 Japanese to work in a company. You take this to the Jamjuri Square. There is an immigration office there. They will just bang and you get it. And you go to the working permit, the labor departments there in the Jamjuri Square. They see the company, they see the BOI, they see you are promoted, they will stamp yes to you. Okay, so this is a non-tax incentive. For the foreign company, in coming into this country, you need the place to put up your factories. Foreigner in this country cannot own land. It's the land law that foreigner cannot own land in this country. So the foreign company, they will have to go to the BOI, get promotion, and they'll be entitled to get the land ownership. But just for the purpose of doing business, according to the promoted company, okay? They apply to get promotion and say, I want to do plastic company. I want 20 right of brand. BOI said, yes, you do it, and you get 20 right. But after, they're tired of Thailand. They don't want to do it no more. They go back to Japan. This land has to be sold. 1 year, within 1 year. They can't speculate it. They can't get hold of it and say, okay, I just go and just wait for the price to be increased and then come back later on. Cannot do it. That is the law. You have to sell it back. Okay? So this is land, is the immigration, the working permit, visa, and the permission. That is the non-tax incentive. That is what we call. So it's tax and non-tax. So these are the only things that the Board of Investment providing to the investor. But it's not the only one factor that attract foreign direct investment or investment in Thailand, right? It's not. It is just only a small thing. What else the investor need to have before making decision to invest in one country? It is something else that the other organization in the countries will have to provide as a whole. Okay, so think about it. This is what I said is just only small thing, one factor only for the investor to think about. But it's not enough. How about banking? How about the law and regulation? Other things, if my drivers, the law and regulation, kill the people, what's law is going to be enforced and something like that. So there are so many factors that the investor to have before they have to think before they come to invest. This is only the small part, okay? So as you are going to be the big investor in the future, maybe you want to set up the factories, maybe in China, think about it. How about China? Whether they have the law and regulation in the patent, ลิขสิทธิ์ดีหรือเปล่า okay one innovation of yours might probably be copies overnight so that is the other thing that so many things that you have to think about. Only one plot that I elaborate for you within this hour. Any question? I have the honor to give you one of the exam. So any question that you want to ask? Don't ask me about what kind of question in the examination. That's very tough. Any? No? Okay, it's very good. Understood? Very well. Very well. So I hope that you will enjoy the question that I asked in the exam. It seems like you guys understand it pretty well and can really cope with this difficult question of mine. Thank you very much for your attention.